everyone, good afternoon and welcome to day 4 of Vlogoween. Today was weird. Kind of like yesterday, I feel like the day just flew by really quickly. And I also feel my sickness kind of like emerging out of my sinuses now, so I've been feeling like my voice is especially nasally today, but I feel like it sounds exactly the same. It just sounds really nasally in my head, which is cool. So I'm really tired and I'm ready to go home, but in the spirit of sharing things from my classroom throughout Vlogoween, like I said yesterday, I want to share with you another small thing that I do in my classroom in case that's something that you find helpful with your students. So something that I have always encountered, as any teacher always encounters, is just the wide variety of skill levels that you're gonna have in a class, right? Differentiation is always, I feel like, something that takes up like a significant amount of time when you're planning a lesson, because you wanna be thinking about how not just like, I have a lesson plan idea and then students will just do it. Like, you wanna be obviously thinking about how each individual in your class is gonna be able to access the lesson and access the activity so that they're able to actually do it and learn from it. That in itself always takes time, but I teach in a school district that does not have honors classes, which I think is actually really great. It was really weird for me initially to even just conceptualize that. I had never attended a middle school or high school that didn't have tiers of honors classes. Like in my middle school, there was an honors and then there was a advanced or something where it was like 3 levels of it. So you could be a year ahead or you could be 2 years ahead in different subjects. And in my high school, we had honors, and then we had like another layer of honors, and then we had AP, and there were just so many different ways of differentiating students in that way. But San Francisco Unified does not do honors classes, and I was really nervous about it initially when I started teaching in this district, but after seeing how it works, I actually really like it. Basically, when you don't have honors classes, everyone is in an honors class. My initial worry and my initial kind of nervousness about it was that, okay, well, how are the students that would have signed up to take an honors class going to feel as challenged? But what it does is it just kind of shifts that bell curve up a lot when you have heterogeneous classes. And when you even apply that lens of like anti-oppression and equity to it, like, that's amazing to be in a class where everyone has equal social status and you're kind of taking away any stigma of being in a non-honors class, because non-honors classes just don't exist. Everyone is expected to learn at a higher level. Everyone is expected to step up. It's so much easier to spark that sense of urgency, because while you might have students who take a little bit longer or need a little more practice to be able to do the same tasks, they're seeing their peers do it quickly and engage with it. They're seeing their peers do it quickly and work with a sense of urgency, and that's kind of putting a fire under their seat too, that like, oh, okay, I better do this because my friends are doing this. And it's just great. I mean, like, I mean this truly and sincerely. It feels like I'm teaching a whole day of honors classes by not having honors classes. The rigor of all of my lessons is higher than it ever has been and just keeps increasing. Like, every time I'm like, okay, like, we're just gonna move the standard here, my students are like, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll move it here. And then my students are like, how about this? If you have questions about it, please leave them in the comments below. Like, I have a lot of very strong opinions now about why we shouldn't have honors classes. And if you're just talking like data point wise, there's a lot of things that my school is doing that is really, really anti-oppressive when it comes to math education that I wouldn't even have considered, because it really is just completely shifting the system and how we think of what math education systems should be. We flip our class size requirements so that the freshman classes are the smallest, and we try to keep them capped to 20 students. And that means that all of our Algebra 1 students, none of them are in an honors class, so everyone is in an honors class. And because the class sizes are small, teachers have enough time and attention to devote to every single student, so less kids are falling behind. And as you cycle through it, like sophomore classes, geometry classes like mine, they try to cap them at 30, and then they get bigger and bigger. And we have like 130 students that are seniors that end up taking AP Calculus. I went to a school that had all those tiers of honors classes like I mentioned, and my AP Calculus class had 11 students in it. And there are 132 students taking AP Calculus at this Title I high school, with a majority of students that are coming from low SES backgrounds, majority of students that are students of color. Like, it's incredible. I feel like I have a lot more to say about it, but I want to actually show you like the thing that I wanted to share about my classroom. So the biggest challenge for me was to just think about differentiation in a completely different way, because I don't want to lower the rigor level of my classroom, because I want to make sure, again, that everyone is in an honors class now. Everyone is expected to step up. Everyone is expected to push themselves in a way. But I do know that there will be students who finish quickly. And something that I had done in my classroom in Phoenix that I carried over this year is what I wanted to show you for students who finish with like 5 or 10 minutes to spare. And I feel like initially my hunch was like, I'll just give them their homework early and then they'll start their homework. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to create that status issue of the smart kids finished their classwork early and then they got to start working on their homework. So if anyone was working on their homework in class, then they are the smart kids and we are not the smart kids. And I don't want to create systems where those thoughts have an opportunity to pop up, right? So something else that I did instead was that if students finish their work early, I just have a bulletin board in the back of my room, and it's called the Varsity Practice Board, and let me show you what that is. So just next to the bookshelf here, I have the Varsity Practice Board, and I add to this as the year goes on, but basically, depending on how much time students have remaining, they can, if they finish early, come here and then pick out a problem and then give it a try. So if they have 10 minutes, they can try this puzzle. If they have just a few minutes, they can try this puzzle. And these are all ones that I found online, like I didn't make any of these. And some of them are just systems of equations word problems. Those are usually fairly easy to like make into what sound like riddles when really they're just systems of equations. This is not for extra credit. This is not for like this isn't even for credit. This is just something for you to do if you finish early so that you can challenge yourself more. I switch out the questions here, I want to say once every 6 weeks, sometimes once every quarter. So just like yesterday, I'm going to leave a link below to a blog post that has the different questions that I use for the Varsity Practice Board. Feel free to just like use them if your students finish early, or throw them up on the projector or something as a challenge problem. I feel like simultaneously setting an expectation that you want to be using your class time to learn, and it's not about points, it's not about getting extra credit, it's not about getting points, it really just is about learning. And if you happen to finish early, then there's another opportunity for you to learn. And I would much, much, much rather have this narrative that we're in class and we learn, and we use our class from bell to bell to learn. And if we finish early before the bell, there are other opportunities for us to learn. It doesn't incentivize students finishing early, and I think that takes the status piece away from it. If you have any other ideas for differentiation that you use in your classroom, I would love to hear them, so please leave them in the comments below. And I am going to head home. It is 4 o'clock, so I am really excited. I've only been at work for only 10 hours today, not 11 hours today, so yippee, Wednesday. So I'm gonna head home and maybe I'll clean my room today, since I don't know, I'm not gonna clean my room. We both know I'm not gonna clean my room. Who am I kidding? I'm not actually gonna clean my room. I don't even need to finish that sentence. I'm not gonna clean my room. Sorry, Mom. Home and it is super foggy outside. only near my neighborhood. Like as I was driving in on the bus, I don't know if you could see in the clip, but like I was entering a wall of fog, which was really cool and spooky, right? So October weather, I love it. I'm gonna finish editing this vlog, have dinner, and then probably call it a night fairly early today as well, so that I can get over this dang cold and stop sounding really nasally in my head. Anyway, I hope you had a great October 4th, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.